Hi everyone, today I'm going to go over a topic that I've been getting requests for quite a lot, and it's actually a video I've been wanting to make for some time now. But it's how to become a doctor. What are some of the steps that you have to take in order to actually get there? Well, let's start from high school. High school is usually 4 years. And the reason why I say usually is because you can cut high school short or even skip high school by taking the GED. But most people, on average, complete 4 years of high school. You take your AP, advanced placement courses, honors courses. You should aim to get a high GPA. And during that time, you're also completing extracurricular activities, starting your own clubs, for example, and engaging in community service endeavors, public speaking, etc., what have you. You can also take community college courses and even courses at certain academic universities in order to not have to take some of those courses during undergrad. For example, I took some courses at a local community college while I was in high school, and I did that so that I wouldn't have to take some of the GE courses during undergrad. I could just get those over with in community college. And I also did that to show admission committees that I could handle college level coursework. Although, let's be honest, a lot of community college courses sometimes even seem easier than advanced placement courses in high school. And you do what you need to do during those 4 years. Try to be the best student that you can. Try to be the best person you can as well. You take your SAT test around junior year or so and apply for universities. And you could get interviews at those universities. Some universities don't require interviews. And after all of that, you get your acceptance letter. After that, you enter into undergrad, your undergraduate university. Most people spend 4 years in undergrad, but again, you can cut that short depending on what your major is and if you completed the required coursework earlier than expected. Some people even plan their schedule so that they graduate earlier, like in 3 years or maybe even 2. But you have to be very, very careful with how you plan things if you're going to do that, because a lot of mishaps can happen along the way, a lot of changes, unexpected changes to schedules, professors, timings of courses, life issues, things come up and that can disrupt your schedule. And if you're planning on graduating early, that can maybe push you back as well. So just be wary, life happens. You're not required to graduate early. I'm just saying that you don't have to spend all 4 years at your undergraduate university. You can graduate earlier, it's a possibility. So in undergrad, you have your general education courses, pre-med courses, and then you have your major courses. The GE courses, or general education courses, are those random courses that you have to complete in order to graduate. So those range from history, social science courses, math courses, science courses, arts, etc., whatever your university requires you to take. So you have to take those courses. And then you have your pre-med courses. If you decide that yes, you want to go into medicine and you want to be a pre-med. Pre-med means pre-medicine, kind of like pre-medical school, before medical school. You are a pre-med. So if you want to be a pre-med and you want to become a doctor, then you need to take pre-med courses. These courses are like your general biology courses, general chemistry courses, organic chemistry courses, biochemistry, genetics, genomics, general anatomy, and your university will outline what those required courses are. Now, you can choose from a range of different courses depending on the university you go to. I went to UC Berkeley, so we had a lot of different courses that could fulfill those pre-med requirements. So it's not like everyone who's a pre-med must take this single course. It's not always like that. You can choose from the different courses that could fulfill that general biology requirement. Now, here's the thing. There are lower division courses and upper division courses. What does that mean? Lower division courses are courses that you need to take, generally speaking, before you take upper division courses. Upper division courses tend to be more specific to a particular topic. So for example, a lower division course that all pre-meds have to take was General Biology 1A. So everyone who wants to be a pre-med takes that course. Not everyone in the lecture hall will be a pre-med. You could have people in there who are majoring in maybe environmental science and they happen to have to take General Biology 1A, so they're sitting in the same lecture as you. But for the most part, all pre-meds would have to take that lower division course. Same with general chemistry. All the pre-meds have to take lower division general chemistry or organic chemistry 3A before moving on to the upper division pre-medical requirements. So upper division course examples could be like neurobiology or biochemistry or genes, genomics. Those are more specific to a particular subject, and in order to advance onto that upper division course, you need to have a solid foundation in the general science lower division courses. So you get your foundation and then you move on to upper division courses so you can excel at them. General education courses, pre-med courses, lower and upper division, and then you have your major courses. You could major in anything you want. You can be an art major, you could be an Italian studies major, you could be a molecular and cell biology major, you could be a chemistry major, you could do engineering for your bachelor's degree. You don't have to stick to a hard science like physics, chemistry, molecular and cell biology, etc. It's up to you, whatever you are interested in. The admission committees for medical schools, the thing that they look at the most are your grades. Yes, they could say, oh, we do a holistic process, we look at the applicant as a whole, but they also have screening processes that are automated by computers. So if you don't meet a certain GPA, for example, or certain MCAT score, I'll go into MCAT a bit later, but if you don't meet their criteria, the computer system automatically, in a way, rejects you. And I got this information from students who worked at admission committees at several universities. Unfortunately, it's like this. So it's not like they're looking at your major first, like, oh, did she major in biology or did she do a quote-unquote easier major like underwater basket weaving or something like that? Not looking at that first. They're looking at your grades first, so prioritize that. So there's that. But essentially, if you don't choose biology and you decide to major in something else or double major, whatever it is, you have to fulfill your major's course requirements. And all of these courses that you have to take, GE courses, pre-med courses, major courses, should be listed on your university's website, or the university counselors that you talk to for your major should be able to tell you the exact requirements that you have for your major and for being a pre-med. Now, be aware that some universities require you to have a certain GPA in order for you to qualify to become a pre-med. So just keep that in mind. When you enter into your freshman year, or ideally even before that, when you're in your senior year and say you've gotten your acceptance letter already, do your research. Talk to people from that university. Go there and meet people. Ask counselors. They're there to help you. Ask them what courses are some good courses to take. You can also look it up online. There are so many reviews that students have put out there, like, oh, this professor wasn't so great, or this one is awesome, this course is a great course to fulfill XYZ requirement, you'll learn a lot and it's not too difficult, etc., etc. And also remember that you are a pre-med and your grades matter. Sadly. I've met a lot of pre-meds who are excellent on paper, but not such great people in general, and I'm sorry to say that. They either don't have such great interpersonal skills, or they're not very empathetic or caring, and some of them don't even really want to become doctors. They're just doing it because maybe their parents push them into it, or they think they're gonna make a lot of money. Let me tell you something. Medicine, after going through this journey, is not an easy road to take. You will come across many stressful situations in your life, even after graduating from your undergrad. You will encounter difficult cases, difficult people, things that will irk you and leave you staying awake at night. You will get tired, you will get fatigued, you will get depressed. And I normally don't say you will feel this way because I know everyone is different and everyone experiences life differently, but it's almost inevitable in medicine. It is almost natural to feel anxious and tired at some point in your medical journey. So if you are not someone who's truly passionate about medicine, it's not something that you personally want to do, then I would suggest not doing medicine. Because to be in medicine, to become a doctor, you really have to love medicine in order to keep going, because this is a long journey. I'm just hitting you with the truth here. I've met counselors at my university who would tell me and other students, don't be a doctor, do something else, save yourselves, it's not worth it, or it's just too much stress, etc., etc. And I thought, maybe they just feel that way, maybe it's just them, and now that I'm in this position, I understand why they said that. Just keep in mind, if you really like medicine, keep going. You have to persevere. You have to be determined in this field to keep going and to make it. But if you do not like medicine, you volunteered at hospitals, you've shadowed, you've done all of that, and you really just don't see yourself in medicine, do something else. Now is your chance to change the path, to create a path of your own even. Also, during your time at undergrad, of course, you're not just taking classes all the time. You're also, again, engaging in extracurricular activities. You can start your own organizations. You can join clubs. You can engage in sports activities. You can do community services. You should volunteer at the hospital. You should try to shadow a doctor. Try to find a doctor who will allow you to shadow them. You should try to engage in research, ideally related to medicine, clinical research, if you can find that opportunity. Just try to expand your knowledge and, again, try to be the best person or the best version of yourself that you can be. Because at the end of the day, it's not just about grades. Yes, grades are very important, but it's about character as well. You need to be empathetic. What does that mean? That means putting yourself in another person's shoes and seeing life from their perspective, seeing their struggles from their perspective, and giving them what they need, whether it's sympathy, understanding, a helping hand. You have to have a helping and caring nature. I've met so many pre-meds who are so cutthroat and competitive to the point where they lose that empathy. They're not nice people, to be honest, when they're at that stage, because they feel like they're competing with every other pre-med. So why should I tell this person the answer to the problem? Why should I help this person out? Why should I tutor, etc., etc.? I hope everyone does poorly. I hope I do better than everyone else. I hope I'm the one who sets the curve, and I'm not going to help anyone on my way. I'm going to trip them and let them fall instead. That is not the type of mentality you need to have. If you are worried about people copying what you do, doing better than yourself, just know no one can take your fate away. No one can change your destiny other than yourself. Don't try to sabotage people along the way, because it's going to slap you in the face. Karma is going to slap you in the face later on. If you have a helping, kind, caring, warm, open-hearted nature, and you are nice to the people around you, including your so-called competition, it's going to benefit you in the long run. We can see during interviews who has good interpersonal skills, who has good character, morals, and values. Because you need to have all of that, not just to be a good person, but to be a great doctor. Those are the best type of doctors. They don't even need to have a good GPA or MCAT scores or whatever. If you are a good person, and you are hardworking, you have great work ethic, you're probably going to be a pretty awesome doctor. You need to have those qualities in addition to having good grades. You need to be good not only on paper, but in real life as well. And I cannot tell you how many pre-meds, unfortunately, don't have that good combination and turn out to be pretty horrible doctors. You can go to an Ivy League medical school, but patients will not like you and will not want to come to you if you're not a good person. So be good, not only to your supervisors, your professors, but also to the students around you. Because listen, I've learned this lesson time and time again. It is a small, small world. You run into people you think that I'm never gonna see them again. You do. And you don't know where that person's going to be. So if you lend a helping hand to others, most likely they'll want to lend a helping hand to you. Now, you shouldn't help people just because you selfishly want them to give you something in return. That's not giving. Giving means giving wholeheartedly without expecting anything in return. It's not a business transaction here. But generally speaking, most people will want to help you too if you help them. And you don't know what that person that you just helped is going to be in the future. Maybe that person can help you get into medical school, get into residency, get the job you want at the hospital, maybe get you some side job, or just be a good friend. That person can be a very valuable connection. So connect with people during your undergraduate years and do so wholeheartedly and kindly, I would say. And a lot of the pre-meds that I met and people in high school who wanted to be doctors who were just not so nice people ended up not becoming doctors or dropping that idea halfway because they just couldn't handle it. They're like, why should I help this person? Literally, I kid you not. After some time, after dealing with all that you've dealt with in the patient care setting, some people are like, forget this. This is a hard job. It is hard. I kid you not, this is the reality of it. No matter how smart you are, it is not an easy path. That's why I say you must love medicine and love serving patients in order to continue and thrive in this field. Okay, so aside from that, I didn't want this video to be too long, so part 2 of how to become a doctor is in a separate video. Please make sure to check that out. And don't forget to subscribe.